Welcome to 8X Pixel Virtual Expo and for the session Dive Chat 360, which will be featuring and discussing about East Asia edition in association with AsianDiver Scuba 101. Herewith, we have fantastic panels, but without any further ado, I'd like to hand over this introduction over to the moderator itself, Elizabeth Lim, my colleague. Elizabeth, over to you.
Hi. Thank you, Nora, and thank you for everyone joining us today for the live chat panel discussion. So like Nora mentioned, my name's Elizabeth, the editor for Asian Geographic magazines, AsianDiver and Scuba Diver, and I'll be your moderator for today's panel session. So for today, we're just going to have a little chat with some of the esteemed divers and speakers about diving in East Asia in conjunction with our up-and-coming magazine issue for AsianDiver, appropriately dubbed Scuba 101 East Asia edition, where we travel to countries such as Japan, Korea, and Taiwan to shed a little bit of light on what's it like diving in a region and give you a better understanding and wider perspective of what diving is like in a different country and how it differs in terms of the dive conditions, marine life, restrictions, etc. So from diving from shipwrecks to exploring underwater caves and lost cities, Scuba 101 will be an ultimate guide to diving in the region. So today you can see our amazing and esteemed panel of speakers to share with us on their experiences and knowledge that they have with us. So just to give you a little bit of introduction of our speakers, we have Mr. Yorko, who's a professional underwater photographer, travel journalist, and photography lecturer from Taiwan, who has nearly over 20 years of scuba diving experience and is a highly sought after photo competition judge at international shows. We also have Mr. Andrew Marriott, who's a longtime diver, photographer, and writer. Andrew's work has been published in a wide variety of media around the world. With a love and passion for writing books, Andrew released his first book called Legends Beneath the Waves, Truck Lagoon, which led to an additional 6 books in a series being committed to. In addition, Andrew also writes dive guides, and his main focus is on small areas and seeks to take the reader diving in the location in their minds. Next, we have Mr. Alan Low, who's a commercial photographer based in Hong Kong and a scuba diving guru in everything scuba diving in Hong Kong. And he has been selected as one of the world's top 50 underwater photographers under Blackpaint's 50 Phantoms. And then we have his wife, Connie Chen, who's a petty course director and the owner of Mandarin Divers Hong Kong Limited. And she's also actively involved in UW360 as our Chinese editor with the hope of spreading the messages of UW360 to the Chinese market. Next, we have Mr. Bao YongZhou, President of Sanya Sports Tourism Association and Executive General Manager of Hainan Fun Play, who has a rich experience in the water sports industry, having been involved in operation and marketing for many years. He focuses on improving the quality and international water sports services, spreading interesting and engaging water sports and leisure methods to the world. Andrew Lim, who is a professional underwater photographer and an avid diver from Singapore, who at the age of 21 published his first underwater photography book, Silhouette of Serenity, and received recognition for his work, having even met the then president of Singapore, Dr. Tony Tan. He's a TEDx speaker, former national rock climber who constantly strives towards capturing and showcasing the beauty of people through underwater photography. And lastly, we have the beautiful Miss LiLing, who is an avid scuba diver, free diver, and dive hostel owner, of Airplane Mode Hostel in Green Island, Taiwan. Apart from that, she also plays host to the Taiwan's biggest diving programs called 30 Meters Underwater. She's also an avid writer who frequently writes about traveling in Green Island, scuba diving, and free diving in hopes of growing the sport. So welcome to all our speakers today. Yay! Thank you for joining us today. Hi, and just before we start anything, I just want to ask, how is everyone doing in this panel? I hope everyone is doing well. And I know, Andrew, you're in Germany, so it's probably early in the morning there, right? Yeah, so it's funny how 2 years ago, everyone will be gathered during ADEX and maybe be having this exact discussion with one another face to face, but with the way things are now, we have to sort out with being on Zoom. But nonetheless, I'm glad that with technology, we can still connect with each other. And I hope that everyone's having a great day. Yes? Yeah. Okay, so I think the first question I want to start off with in general is maybe just feel free to jump in, but what about diving in East Asia that you guys love so much? Because I know you guys are so experienced in what you guys do, but no, you guys are in different areas of the world, but in general, what is East Asia to you, and how, like, feel free to jump in, you know, what is it about diving in East Asia that you guys love so much? Anyone?
I'll jump in.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I miss about diving in East Asia.
For sure, go for it.
Is the accessibility. You know, I lived in Beijing, and if I wanted to go diving in the Philippines, Southeast Asia, that was a quick flight away. But there was even more diving closer in. And what I miss is being able to go out and explore those other destinations, like for me, talking about Japan today. But I feel like I missed so much. And, you know, I think when I lived there, I took for granted what was so nearby that I was always going somewhere else. And I regret that. So what I like about diving in East Asia is what I miss about diving in East Asia.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyone else want to jump in on that question? Oh, what do you love so much about East Asia? Oh, we can just, yeah.
Okay, I am going to share some information to dive in Asia, but I would like to, you know, talk in Mandarin. So, Efrins, maybe later you can do translate for me. OK， 我觉得在亚洲潜水，第一水温 water temperature 很舒服，然后再来有太多的选择，像刚刚那个 Andrew 讲在 Philippines， 然后比如说像那个印尼啊、Indonesia、Malaysia， 那甚至在附近 Micronesia 有 Palau、Guam， 还有那个塞pan都非常棒。所以这边潜水的话，你可以看到很多漂亮的珊瑚，很多的鱼类。那当然，我今天会 share 很多关于台湾。就是在台湾潜水的部分，那台湾潜水有很多很多的景点，就是 that destination 是非常推荐的。OK， friends.
Oh, so sorry about that. Okay, so Mr. Yorko Sama is actually will be actually presenting his diving experience in Taiwan, and he will also be sharing a lot of information, especially the diving experience in Taiwan and also the temperature in Taiwan itself, right, Miss Yorko? Sorry, 你讲的有点快，所以我没有办法就是把全部的东西。
It's okay. Yeah. I'm going to share that information in Taiwan. Okay.
Yeah, and he will be sharing the information later in the deck to everyone and the audience as well. Thank you. Okay, over to you, Elizabeth. Shall we start with one of the speakers?
Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry about that. A little bit of issue there. So sorry, I guess we just start to kick things off. Maybe we start with Mr. Andrew Marriott. It's so great to have you here today, and thank you for joining us. And as such a long-time diver, you've been to many places before, and in particular, you've actually dived in Wakayama, Japan, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, Japan, if I would say so myself, is one of my favorite places in East Asia, and I've never been there before, and nor have I ever had the opportunity to dive there. Could you share a little bit more about specifically diving in Wakayama and what you love about diving there?
So, for reference, Wakayama is a prefecture that is just south of Osaka, and the Osaka airport kind of serves as your gateway into Wakayama. And the first thing that struck me about it was how convenient it was. That airport, the Osaka Kansai airport, is within an hour of some of the dive sites. So it's kind of a long peninsula, and the dive sites are strung along the west and the southern side of it. And within an hour, you can be at the northernmost sites, and it's about 2 hours further south. It's really unknown. It kind of struck me as like what California used to be like way back when I learned to dive. And it's sort of this kind of cool, low-key local dive scene there, but with still really well-developed infrastructure. I was originally there doing a photo shoot on land for something completely different. And as we were driving up the coast, it struck me this dive shop after dive shop after dive shop. And I told it was for Asia Geographic, and it's like, I got to come back and we got to do a underwater thing focused on this. And I was really shocked. I was expecting a cold water experience, again, more akin to California. And what I found was just this really cool combination of cold water, kind of Northern Pacific stuff, but with still some of that really nice, fun, colorful stuff from the tropics coming up. We saw like cold water eels mixed in with big, bright, pink, pretty soft coral, which I didn't expect to see. Also being very close in, most of it's, you could shore dive it, but it's mostly done from boat. And what surprised me was the number of big fish. Big fish are something that is often sadly lacking around dive sites due to fishing. And this being so close to the inland sea and huge cities like Osaka, I was expecting little fish. But we saw huge numbers of big fish. And I was told that there's even, you can go further out to the seamounts and see the bigger fish, the sharks. So that's trip 2. I've got a few pictures here just to share. Let's see if this works. So these are images from Wakayama. I wish I trying to put something better than this. But what surprised me was the water clarity. But you'll notice as I flip through these, you can see the number of fish, the color, the water clarity. It felt at times like a really weird combination of like Micronesia and driving off the coast of Oregon and the state of Washington in the US. But it just really, really pretty stuff. I had a very unfortunate camera issue while I was there. So these are all shot on a TG4 that I had to borrow from my guide, which he was a lot of fun. He was very understanding. So just a quick rundown of what you can see.
Yeah.
Good macro, good big stuff, good color. The currents were very mild, which was really nice. Dove any time of day, it didn't matter. And I'm gonna go ahead and close those so you can just see the overall pictures here. But what I really liked about it is it really gave a very good opportunity for divers who have friends, family, girlfriends, whatever it may be, boyfriends, who are not divers. There is so much else to do right there. If you want white sand beaches, you've got white sand beaches. If you want great restaurants, they're there. And then just some incredible cultural landscape and landmarks and stuff up in the mountains. You can check out Asia Geographic magazine, go back and look at that. So it was just the diversity of in the water, the ease of the diving, the accessibility to friends who lived up around Tokyo and they never thought of it and they were flying to all over the world. And it's like, well, there's no reason you can do something better. You can do something else. So that was it was very surprising. And I really look forward to going back again with a functioning camera gear next time, hopefully. And that's the quick overview of Wakayama.
First of all, I just want to say, if those photos were taken on a not as great camera as you're saying, I can only imagine the photos that's going to come out with a functioning camera for you, because those were pretty amazing still.
I deleted a lot of pictures.
I can only imagine, because they were incredible. Like, trust me, even if you gave me whatever your guide had, I probably wouldn't take photos like that still.
Yeah.
So,
and then we shot videos on an old GoPro.
Yeah. Well, what were some of the dive sites that you actually visited? So Wakayama is actually quite a large prefecture,
Yeah.
if I'm sure. So did you have to travel? Are they really far out? Like, is it just boat trips out, or what are specific dive sites that you loved? Or
So the boats were fascinating because it's not some sites have very well developed dive boats, but the most fun I had honestly was it was near the town of Shirahama, and there was you get on a fishing boat, and as the divers have come in, these fishermen have found that they make more money by throwing a couple divers on the deck and taking them out for a few hours than they would fishing all day. So what they did is they go out and they just took us out to their fishing spots and basically like, hey, jump in. So there's, still a lot undiscovered there. The sites, it's a big variety. So stuff for beginners, more advanced stuff further out like seamounts. The diversity of underwater terrain was pretty good. It's very dramatic, big, giant boulders and rocks and very cold water kind of feeling. It has the marine growth and the colors, but it's not covering everything like it would like in the Philippines, in other places where in areas where there's not a strong current, you get a lot of the growth. Here, the rocks are still very visible. It's kind of like some spots in Hong Kong, actually. Would be an interesting parallel to it. Maybe a little bit better water clarity and a little bit colder temperatures.
Okay. Were there any challenges you faced though, considering I'm pretty sure there's a lot of language barriers that you need to deal with?
They were a lot of fun. I speak really, really bad Japanese. It's worse than my Chinese, which is impressive. And the biggest challenge I faced was I am a really big dude. Most Japanese divers are not big dudes. So I was borrowing gear, so I was in a wetsuit that made me look like a bratwurst. So no pictures of me diving. No. Very bad. It's just not something that people should see, especially small children. It's just not good. So I ended up in a very thin wetsuit in water that was, I was in a 2 mil wetsuit in water where I should have been wearing a 7 mil. So it was a little cold.
Just a little bit. Cool.
But it was worth it. I got used to it. And the other challenges were, language being the big one, but in the end, divers are divers. My guy didn't speak English at all, and he knew like the camera thing hands it. He was able to figure out exactly what I was looking for pretty quick. So the challenge wasn't bad. Japan for me is a more challenging country logistically than anywhere else in Asia, just with the language barrier. At least in China, I could read the signs, not in the traditional script, but I could read it in the pinyin. And in Japan, there's really not pinyin. So when someone tells me to meet them somewhere, I just kind of stand at the street corner and put a cowboy hat on and be like, yeah, I'm the big Bible run here. Just pick me up.
Just stick your hand out like you're hitchhiking,
Yeah, I stick out pretty bad. I'm easy to find.
Well, I can't even imagine like the struggles, but I'm pretty sure that it helps out once in a while, for being tall and like just standing there. People spot you.
It has its moments. I'm easy to find. You can't lose me.
That's good. That's good. I would love to see that photo of you in that thin wetsuit. I'm pretty sure it'd be great to see. No.
I say bratwurst, but there are other examples I could use that are not appropriate for video.
Yeah. Andrew's just sitting there. Andrew Lim's sitting there like, nope, we don't need to do that.
No, those were deleted. I told you I deleted a lot of pictures. Those were the first ones. There's no selfies from that trip.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit on Wakayama. It sounds incredible, and for anyone who's interested in going, I hope this was a little bit insightful. I'm sorry, it's a little bit short, but yeah, thanks so much, Andrew, for sharing about Wakayama with us. And actually, moving on, Andrew, you was talking about in parallel to Hong Kong, where we have Ellen Low and Connie Chan, who's actually based in Hong Kong, who could share a little bit more about the area. So, hi, Ellen. How Connie? Hi. I hope you guys are well today. And so Andrew was making a comparison to Hong Kong, actually, about diving in Wakayama and similarities to diving in Hong Kong. So, could you guys share a little bit about diving in a country and what is some places you recommend visiting and diving?
I'm gonna sharing a PowerPoint, which is there are a lot of photos over there, and diving in Hong Kong is the whole experience of a day outing in Hong Kong, not only diving. Okay, I'm gonna share you some photos. Right. Can you see that?
Yeah. Still clear.
Okay. Hey. Sorry.
That's okay.
Hey,
to share the PowerPoint.
Yeah, I think you accidentally pressed the off button
Oh,
just now. Yeah. Okay.
yes, the PowerPoint. I have to share the photos with you.
I think
Can you see that?
yes, we can see this, and
The PowerPoint, which is up here.
okay, somewhere below, if I'm not wrong. I think I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. There
There
you
you
go.
go. See it.
Okay, this is the pier in Sai Kung. Sai Kung is a very famous diving area in Hong Kong. It used to be a fishing area, so those community was stay in the boat and grown from the boat, and after certain years of time, it becomes a dive area for Hong Kong, and I can say that is a whole experience, meaning travel from the tourist area like Tsim Sha Tsui or Central is only 30 minutes taxi ride from the main
away from the city, yeah.
away from the main city to Sai Kung area. And then the scenery of the boat ride is very pretty and spectacular. And hiking is also a very famous activities in Hong Kong. So we have a lot of different activities with diving together, like camping plus diving. We will do hiking and camping in between the dive, meaning we are boating from Sai Kung and then do diving, and then dock in a small island, and we do camping over that island, and then do the second day dive in that area. That is also very interesting things, which is special.
And also during this lockdown period, the whole area in Sai Kung has been getting overcrowded on every weekends. People rush there for scuba diving, hiking, seafood restaurants, anything you name it.
Yes, you can see the scenery is very spectacular. And diving in Hong Kong, we have a lot of choices of operator, from big boat, a very comfortable diving boat, to speedboat, because the dive site in between from the pier to the dive site is very close by. Within 15 minutes to 1 hour, we can go to a lot of different dive sites near that area.
That's incredible. So it looks amazing, and to be able to camp and then go diving, that's something that's really unique. Yeah.
Yes.
When would you recommend? Yeah.
And the food and the service in the big boat is very nice. See the different cuisine, and the visibility in Hong Kong during this year is quite amazing. It's some divers will say that more like a Philippines dive site. The visibility become 10 to 15 meters. It's much better. Maybe because of the world rest a bit.
The pandemic closed down, so the world had time to recuperate, Yeah.
Yes.
Something really interesting that I heard was that actually traveling to a dive site in Hong Kong, it's like you say, it's really easy and accessible. However, I heard that sometimes when you book a trip, it does not include a dive guide. Is it possible? Usually, what's the process like?
We have to get a booking from the operator by email or WhatsApp or any kind of communications before the day. And then after the confirmation, you can get the location where you get on board to the boat. And then on that day, you just travel from the city, say half an hour by taxi or Uber. By taxi will be from Tsim Sha Tsui to Sai Kung. It's cost,
half an hour time.
It's cost less than $30 US, something like that. And then do diving from the morning, like 8:45, we met on the pier and then get onto the boat and we do diving in the morning and then having lunch in between 12 to 1, something like that, and then do the afternoon dive. After that, most of the boat will end at 4 something or 3 something and back to the same pier. And we enjoy our happy hour at the Sai Kung Pier. There are lots of restaurants over there just in front of the ocean. So it's very good place for divers to chat over there after diving. And some of the operator will offer night diving too. Night diving in Hong Kong is also very amazing.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing about Hong Kong. And I think it's just amazing to hear that. I think what really caught my attention was the fact that I could go 30 minutes away, go camping, and then go dive, and then come up, I get to eat, and then happy hour, you know.
Yes, and also the ratio of professional level in Hong Kong is very high. So you can do reactivation, and also maybe you haven't dived for so long and travel to Hong Kong and do 1 or 2 dive with pros is very easy.
That's great. That's amazing. I think what we all look for, especially, is just the ease and accessibility and just making it as seamless as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And also corals is very famous in the world too. Hong Kong corals, they, according to the scientists, they name it as super corals because not easy to die.
Not easy to die. That's what we love. We love it when it takes a long time to kill something in the ocean, because you know.
Right,
So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing about that. If anyone wants to go to Hong Kong to dive, check Ellen and Connie out. And mention divers, you know. Thank you for sharing so much, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. So now moving on, I do actually want to introduce everyone to Mr. Bao YongZhou from China, who will then be sharing with us about YongZhou Island and diving there. However, due to my terrible Mandarin, I will require the assistance of my colleague Alfred, who will kindly support me by helping us to do the translation. But first of all, let me start out. 谢谢你今天加入我们。我中文不太好，所以我今天请了我的同事 Alfred 来帮我翻译。
你其实讲的挺好的。
谢谢你，I'm trying 。
欢迎您，鲍总，鲍总你好。
好的，很高兴认识大家，大家下午好。那个刚才也听了一下，也看了一下其他的咱们同仁们的分享，也确实很棒。然后呢，今天呢，我就把蜈支洲岛的一些潜水的资源呢，给大家做一个介绍。
好，谢谢包总。So first of all, where is YongZhou Island located in China? And in addition, what makes the island such a great place for diving and so popular among divers?
鲍总，那Elizabeth 呢其实就是问你一下，这个为什么蜈支洲岛呢是这么迷人，而且它的那个地理位置，那怎么去到达这样当然你有你的 PPT 已经有在线上了哈，那大家慢慢欣赏，谢谢。鲍总您请。
好的，那个在给大家介绍我们的潜点之前呢，可能先跟大家说一下咱们蜈支洲岛的地理的区位。咱们蜈支洲岛呢是在海南省三亚市，离三亚市区呢交通非常的便利，无论是坐 taxi 啊还是那个巴士啊都可以那个到。如果说给我们提前联系的话呢，我们还可以安排车去接到我们的码头，我们有客船，那个大约每20分钟一班的客船，这样去上岛。 那么交通非常方便，而且岛上我们有一家5星级的酒店，那么在我们那个岛下码头呢也有那个酒店，那个应该不是 hotel 吧，应该是叫中文叫客栈，那可能英文那个怎么说我还不是很清楚。
是客栈吗？就是一些小酒店是吧？
民宿。
Oh, some homestays as well as like hotels or inns nearby.
好，那个然后我们的那个潜水呢，就是每年的接待的咱们持证潜水的人数呢，现在在逐年的往上在那个增加，然后我们这边那个每年也会吸引到很多的，就是咱们对潜水感兴趣的国内的和国外的人，因为对于一个离岸比较近的这样的一个潜水点的话呢，我们这儿确实是有它非常独特的一些那个景观跟资源的保护，因为我们对资源的保护是做得非常好的，尤其呢是比如说我们像做的海洋牧场啊，包括我们对那个所有的污染源的控制，所以呢才得以这么多年蜈支洲的潜水的资源呢是在逐渐的是变得越来越好，这个是在很多地方可能不会出现的。
鲍总您继续。
好的。那我们的蜈支洲岛目前对外开放的这个潜点呢，主要是4个潜点，一个呢是咱们说的后花园的潜点，还有小宇宙、麒麟海和玻璃鱼星球。这个呢，在我们岛的不同的位置，主要是在这个岛的4周。那么咱们的玻璃鱼星球呢，主要是在我们冬季码头的这样一个附近，然后我们的麒麟海呢是在夏季码头，这个是2个大家来体验潜水的客人去的比较多的地方。另外还有小宇宙，在小宇宙这里呢，早上的时候呢是能看到鲨鱼的。然后在这个后花园那个这里呢，是我们相对来说比较资深的一些潜水的人士才能够去到的这样的一个潜点。它每个潜点呢，其实对应的景观都是不一样。当然还有一些目前呢可能没有对外开放的一些那个潜点，因为我们对于潜点的开放呢，我们也是做了管控。我可以继续吗？
可以的，请您继续。
对，那后花园的潜点呢，它的水深相当于它的这个水深呢是比较深的，能达到30米的这样的一个深度。它是在岛的这个南边基本上在正南方。然后这个是那个后花园潜点下面实拍的一些景观。这些都是在后花园那个潜点的。它的珊瑚的种类比较丰富，另外呢，鱼的种类也比较多。那另外呢，一个就是深度稍微浅一点的呢，就是咱们那个玻璃鱼星球的潜点，这个呢是在岛的西边，它的水深呢是5米到18米。那么刚才忘了介绍了，就是我们这儿的水温还可以，常年呢基本上是在22度到30度之间这样。基本上除了极端天气以外，基本上呢就普通的湿衣就可以。在玻璃鱼星球这里呢，我们主要呢是会除了咱们的这个珊瑚啊、鱼啊自然景观之外呢，也是会做了一些这样的一个雕塑。然后这个是实拍的水下的能见度以及水下的这个珊瑚的情况。这个是这样的一个玻璃鱼风貌，在我们全年基本上除了极特殊的个别天气以外，基本上都能看得到这样的一个鱼群风暴。然后接下来呢是跟大家介绍的是一个小宇宙的这样的一个潜点，这里呢水深呢也不是特别深，大概是5米呢到20米，是在咱们岛的一个东北角，就是我刚才说的，在这个地方如果早上的话呢，大概60-70%的概率是可以碰到经常来我们这儿光顾的鲨鱼。这里呢会有一些沉船，那么这些沉船呢都已经沉了有很多年，然后有很多沉船上面都已经开始附着了珊瑚了。这个是我们剪辑的一个视频，主要是黑鳍鲨。 然后包括呢这个现在的这样的一个雨群风暴，都是在我们这个小宇宙这样的一个前点能够看得到。我们的水的能见度呢，最好的季节是每年的3月份到6月份，在这个时候呢，它的能见度呢能达到25米到27米。当然，如果说到了夏天的时候呢，能见度正常也会比较好。但是如果运气不好，您7、8、9月份碰到台风，那每一次台风过后呢，大概水呢需要恢复，大概需要1周的时间去恢复它的一个能见度，因为它有下大暴雨的原因，因为毕竟离岸比较近，所以说它这个水里面它需要一个沉淀。到冬天的时候呢，水况会稍微差一点，因为冬天的时候呢，风浪比较大，东北季风起来，所以它最好的季节是3到6月份，或者说是到7月份。那么尤其在这个时候，其实它就是它每年能见度的最好的时候。最后一个呢，就是我们的这个麒麟海的这样的一个前点，里面下面呢会有一些咱们中国的吉祥物麒麟，另外呢里面也是有很多的沉船。这个是一个麒麟，包括后面的这样的一个珊瑚。然后这个地方呢拍微距会非常的好。然后其实在蜈支洲岛，当然除了这个前点之外，就是很多前点都可以拍一些微距。你像你像比如说像熊猫虾虎鱼啊等等这样的海兔啊这样的在我们这儿的水底下都是比较常见的。好，那么呢，对于关于我们的这个前点的介绍呢，基本上就是这样。你看，大家如果有一些比较关心的问题，可以问我。
好的，谢谢包总啊。那我们呢这里是有点问题，就是有一些小问题想问你一下的，就是其实你已经给我们做了一个很详细的一个介绍了。那但是我想看到了您刚才介绍的这4个景点之外呢，其实我看到它的那个深度都是不一样的。再说就是说它的深度不一样，就是意味着因为我本身不是一个潜者，那看到它那个不一样的深度的话，就是说有不同的深度，其实是包括了很多潜水爱好者，不管他是哪一个级别，其实都可以去到蜈支洲岛去潜水的，是不是？
对，因为它有浅有深，无论是他们那个像那个水肺潜水和那个自由潜水，在蜈支洲呢都有适合它的海域。
太棒了。还有另外一个问题呢，我们想知道的就是，比如说蜈支洲岛，我们知道是一个特别漂亮的一个岛。那刚才我们也看到一些照片了。那除了是说潜水爱好者，如果是说想去那边潜水的话，可能想带一下家人啊去那边过个节日什么的。因为现在我们都知道中国人呢，或者是外国人也好，都喜欢就是带着家人一起去潜水，但是就是说可能家人或者是小孩都还没有拿到这个证的时候呢，蜈支洲岛除了就是可以让人家去潜水的话，还有没有别的可能，比如说非潜水人员可以去的一些焦点或者是一些景点？当然还有就是可能是说一些水上活动啊，小孩子可以玩啊什么的这样。
我们蜈支洲岛呢，它其实它有一个最大的特点，那当然潜水是最主要的一个它的核心的这样的一个那个特点，但它其实还是最主要的它还是一个水运动的这样的一个非常集中的这样的一个地方。那么在全球咱们能看到的先进的水运动，在蜈支洲其实90%都能体验到，无论是最新的还是最流行的，还是大家最喜闻乐见的。我们的海上的这些运动项目呢，大概有26项之多。大家可能经常看到的，比如说像摩托艇啊，像漂移艇啊，这些在我们那都有。另外我们还有比较先进的、比较高精尖的，从国外引进的，你像那种鲨鱼艇啊、海豚艇啊，包括呢像动力冲浪板啦，像现在比较流行的尾波冲浪啊等等这些。如果说休闲的话呢，咱们如果家人不能下水的话，咱们还可以，我们这还有半潜船，就是站在船舱里面一个玻璃的一个窗户去看海底世界的，那么也可以，尤其是老人小孩这样。另外我们还有空中的低空的旅游，另外呢我们还有陆地上的这样的一个除了观光之外，比如说我们还有陆地上的陆地冲浪，就是我们把冲浪机放到陆地上了，包括呢我们还有跳伞体验。就下面的一个大风机，然后把人吹起来，吹得飞起来，就是像鸟一样在空中飞。 咱们呢有时候开玩笑，就是说这个可以体验一回当鸟人的感觉。
太棒了，太棒了！那8X Pixel Expo 这个平台上的小伙伴们，如果是说你们现在终于知道蜈支洲岛的这个介绍那等到这个疫情结束了之后呢，我们第一个首选的肯定就是蜈支洲岛了我们如果没去过的话，谢谢鲍总给我们介绍了那么详细的关于蜈支洲岛的这个地理。那等会儿呢，我们再回来再跟你聊聊哈。好的。那我们先把这个平台交回给 Elizabeth. Elizabeth, over back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, 谢谢包总跟我们分享。So, thanks, Mr. Bao, for your insight into the region. And now we'll travel over to the last location, which is Taiwan, where instead of one, we are lucky to have 3 different speakers, Mr. Yorko-sama, Andrew Lim, and LiLing, to share with us a little bit about their experiences with diving in Taiwan. So, hi guys. Hope you guys are doing well. So maybe I'll start with Mr. Yorko-sama. Could you share with me, based on all your experience and all the years diving in the area, what's it like diving in Taiwan and some of the best places you recommend?
Okay, 我先讲啊。All right. So, hold on, I'm going to show you my desktop. Wait. Okay. Can you okay, here.
Yorko, 你看到那个对，看到了。
Okay.
Good. 可以。
All right. Okay. So Taiwan is a very small island, but we have a lot of very beautiful dive destination around the island, and even away from the mainland Taiwan. And I'm gonna show you something here. So you can dive in Taiwan all year round, and the water temperature is very, very cozy. I think especially in summer, it's around like a 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, and even in winter, I think it's around like a 22 to 24. So you can dive all year round. And I'm going to share some of very popular and very famous dive site in Taiwan. The first one is the northeast coast. It's not far away from Taipei. So if you it takes only like an hour from Taipei to northeast coast by drive. Then it's very, very easy to get there, and it's a paradise for mackerel. You can see a lot of different kind of creatures, a small one, and you can see like flamboyant cuttlefish, burrowing octopus, and many different kind of nudibranch. So this is a very beautiful dive area in the north, and the best dive season is in summer in the northeast coast. Okay, and the other one is Penghu. If you would like to get to Penghu, you have to take the domestic flight, and once you get there and you dive there, you can see a lot of big school of fish, many different kind of fish. It's very beautiful, and even you can see a lot of different hard corals and soft coral. And there is one dive site called 薰衣草花园. Andrew Lam.
Yeah.
帮我讲一下薰衣草花园的那个
翻译成
英文。
薰衣草的话应该叫做 lavender garden.
Lavender garden.
Yeah, I don't even know what's 薰衣草. I don't even know what's lavender.
Lavender, yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yes.
有我在，不用担心啊。
We have alphas.
Okay, hold on. Maybe I just share some of the. Okay, so we have the northeast coast, and we have Penghu, and we have 小琉球, Kending, Lanyu, and Green Island. So I'm going to show you the photo. This is the Green Island. I think LiLing, she lived there. So it's a very, very beautiful island. And I'm I'm the ocean tourism ambassador of the Green Island in 2017. Yeah. So the water visibility there is amazing. It's around like a 15 meters. It's when you dive in the Green Island or Lanyu, it's just like, you know, dive in the mirror water. It's a crystal clear. It's beautiful, and you have chance to see. Okay, this is the photo from the northeast coast. You have harlequin shrimps and a squid, and like I said, it's a flamboyant cuttlefish and burrowing octopus and nudie. And this one is in also in the north, and highly recommend. It's a very popular since last year, because now Taiwan, we are what's that, COVID. We are not COVID free, but we are COVID safe. So you can come to Taiwan and with your face mask, and you can go anywhere you want to go. And this is called the dive site called Guishan Dao. It's was an underwater hot spring. So when you dive in the Guishan Dao, it's just like, you know, diving inside a crowd. It's beautiful, and it's also good for free diving. Okay, and this is the photo from Green Island. You can see the water visibility is amazing, and you can see like the batfish, big school of batfish, and also there are a few what's that, artificial reef. It's called Iron Reef. So you also can do the free dive there, and the what's that, the depth, the bottom depth is around like a 32 meters. Okay. 我应该讲中文才对。OK。我的英文你们听得懂吗？
听得懂，
听得懂啊。
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, speaking English is killing me. Okay.
It's okay. If you
Right.
have to speak Mandarin, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the dive site. One of my favorite dive site in Green Island. This is located in the north. So you only can dive this dive site in summer, and it's covered, you know, the full of soft coral, colorful soft coral, and big sea fans. It's called AsianDiver. So when I dive there, it's you know, like you know, I dive in Raja Ampat or Komodo. You know, same kind of feeling. So it's very beautiful. So this is a photo from Taiwan, Green Island, and a lot of fish, and some special dive site. It's called 鳄鱼嘴, a mouth of a crocodile. Oh, okay, crocodile mouth. But for me, it's more look like the moray. You see?
I was gonna say it looks like an eel.
Eel.
It looks more like an eel.
Yeah.
So it looks like the crab claw at Jambu.
Yeah.
True.
Tempo.
That's true.
All right. And also, Green Island is good for mackerel and also for wine angle, but I prefer mackerel there because you can see a lot of fish, nudibranch, and you can take a lot of like behavior there. And okay, I just show the photo quickly. And this is a frogfish, and we have very special kind of frogfish there. This is a super tiny. The size, the length is maybe less than one centimeter, so very small and very special. And this is something. Okay.
Like, there's such a cute animal. What's that? It's so cute.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's called Idiomosis. I don't know the what's that, the correct pronunciation, but this is super tiny. It's a super macro. Maybe this size only 1 mm. 1 millimeter. It's very small, and you can find in Green Island. And also in Green Island, it's very popular. In Green Island, it's very famous for pygmy seahorse. So you can see Pachapanti, you can see Pontohi, you can see Komani, and you can see 7C. So many different kind of pygmy seahorse in Green Island. Okay, and a very special nudibranch. I show you. And this is a very unique, only you can find in Green Island. It's called green strawberry. Okay. And you know, the nudibranch look like a small banana. Okay. Kauri. Okay, so it's very beautiful. And the other side in the southwest, we have another dive site, dive destination, very popular, named Xiaoliuqiu. So Xiaoliuqiu, the best dive season is not in summer. It's after summer, because in summer the Xiaoliuqiu, the visibility sometimes gonna be very murky. But after summer, the water visibility is amazing, and it's famous about like a turtle, sea turtle. You can see a lot of sea turtles, and they are very friendly. So I took this photo in Xiaoliuqiu. You can see a lot of sea turtles, and this is the Xiangwang. Before they used 养殖，鱼在里面养殖。Okay, whatever. And you can see corals and fish. Okay, a lot of things you can see. We have a lot of we have many different choice of the dive site. So welcome to Taiwan and dive in Taiwan. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Yorko. Your English was amazing, by the way, so don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about LiLing and Andrew? Do you guys want to comment? Since LiLing, I know you do have a dive center on Green Island.
Yeah. And yeah, Green Island is an island southeast of Taiwan. Yeah, like Yoko just said, it's very known for its visibility. Every day is around maybe 40 meters. Even with typhoon, rain heavy on land and everything so mad. But on the water is still perfect. Yeah. So if you like to take photo or you want to learn diving, it's a good choice. You can go to Green Island. And so that's why I choose there to have a dive shop. And what about you?
Okay, for me, I mean, I don't really dive in Taiwan a lot. This was my first time diving in Taiwan. And I think my opinion can be one from someone who has, well, never dived in Taiwan before, but have dived in a lot of other places around the world. And I can say that Taiwan is amazing. Why so? Because it is so damn convenient. You live in Taipei, you take a car out, you can go and dive. You know, take a train, you can go and dive at an amazing spot like Green Island. To me, my favorite dive spot so far has to be Green Island. Again, because of its visibility. 40 meters visibility every day. Just imagine, you know, there is never a bad day shooting. LiLing would say, right? If your customers come.
Yeah, sometimes my customer ask me, is it possible maybe have a bad visibility? And I would tell them, if you made a bad visibility, that means you are super lucky, because maybe there's only one day during whole year.
Yeah, it's only like one day a year that it's not so good. So when I first went to Green Island, unfortunately, we went during the worst season, winter. The waves were high, like 4 to 5 meters high. Like it's almost impossible to enter the water. But heck, I was like, shit, we're already here. We have to dive, right? And well, because you can't really enter the water with your tank at all, with those kind of waves, I actually did free diving for the first time to shoot. And that was quite nice. So I spent like 2 weeks there and dived maybe 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah, three days only. But it was good. Yeah.
Thanks guys for sharing. I think that actually draws me wraps it into my last topic, which is actually about your underwater photography.
Yep.
So for our magazine cover for Scuba 101, Andrew actually provided us with the photography, his photograph that he took of LiLing, in fact, of underwater. So actually, Andrew, that I just want to ask you, I think Alphonse has the image that he can share with us now.
Let me just, I have it here as well. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'd like to do the honor then.
Okay. Before that, can I just show you, LiLing wants to show you just how amazing like Green Island's visibility.
For sure, yeah.
And this is, by the way, shot on GoPro.
Hero 4.
Hero 4. Yeah, see? Okay, yeah. I mean, this is just on GoPro, you know, it's just what you see. It's like, it's endless.
For it to be on GoPro and be like that is
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, but before I get to the cover photo, let me just share with you a few more spots within the 3 dives that we shot at. There's this place called Atlantis, which I think is incredibly like unique.
Yeah.
it's a sunken dock basically, right? It's a
Yeah,
harbor. It's a harbor.
before.
Yeah, so it's great for photography, especially if you like shooting like people underwater. It's a whole playground down there. And then now the cover photo. Oof, challenges. Yeah, there were quite a bit of challenges because every day we wanted to shoot, we got ready, we exited the door, only to find it like kind of storming outside. So every day I was like, oh no, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, until like I think the last few days, it wasn't storming. It was still like drizzling, but we are like, you know what, let's just, because she showed me some pictures before of this place and it looked kind of amazing. And I was like, yeah, I really want to dive there. This place is called what? Blue Cave.
Yeah, Blue Cave.
So we took a walk, and then we jump in right over there. You just like walk into the water. So very convenient. You don't have to take a boat or anything. You just walk in with a free diving. Your
free
fins,
diving.
just your fins and your mask, you're good to go.
It's only 5 meters.
5 meters. Yeah. And you see the photo on the right, right? That is a very famous image of Blue Hole. Like a lot of people like to go there to shoot this shot. I had to do it anyway. But then I found a different angle, which I thought was a lot nicer. You see, it was overcast. There was barely any natural light. But there was still a little bit, you know, the camera could still capture a little bit of the sunlight. And I think, this created a very nice atmosphere, a very nice composition for this photo. Yeah,
I think that photo is pretty amazing. Like, did you go through a lot of planning to get there?
Go through a lot of
or like planning to do it? Or LiLing, do you want to share about? Yeah,
I'll just lead her into it. So one day I was like, hey, do you have anything nice to wear? Because this is an amazing location. Do you have anything nice to wear? And she was like, I've got some stuff. We went to look through it. We picked up whatever would have like a bit of flow. And then she was like, yeah, let's just take a scooter over. I'm like, whoa, okay, cool. Yeah, so you tell them like, what were your challenges?
Okay, I think because I'm a scuba diver and also a free diver. So in the beginning, I thought trying to be modeling underwater, maybe it's very easy for me, but it's not. Yeah. I think, okay, after that, I think to modeling underwater is very different with free diving. The first difficult thing is you need to hold your breath. Then trying to be look very good, very comfortable underwater and suit the environment. Everything, okay, everything perfect. Then the more you think, the more you cannot hold your breath. So it's very, very, very difficult for me. But I think photographer is very important. He can help you how to relax and teach you how to look good underwater.
Yeah. So I think
it's my first experience.
For a first-time underwater model, I think she did a fantastic job. I mean, quite evidently. Did we take a long time to take this shot? Not at all. We would spend maybe like 20 minutes there. To get this shot, maybe about 5 minutes. So yeah, everything flowed quite smoothly other than the weather. I mean, that is just how amazing I believe Green Island is. Without good weather, you still can take great pictures. One more thing, right? We actually went to another spot. It's called Secret Hole. I thought I would share this because I think it's really quite interesting. So this was what the weather is like every day with the waves. Oh, yeah. So you can get an idea. There is a hole down there, and I was like, why don't we shoot in it? So we went there, find like so high and so big. It was quite scary. So if you can see at the back, there is actually another smaller hole. So we walked there, and we got this shot. Yeah. So the waves would come in now and then. So I don't think we'll be shooting today. Oh my gosh. Wanted to shoot here, but nah, not gonna happen. Yeah, but it did happen in the end. So shooting there was really like, yeah, maybe we should not shoot today, or maybe we should not. I mean, safety first, of course. That's why we're going to find like a more sheltered area. Interestingly, because this whole LiLing brings a lot of the customers to come here to play because it is quite an amazing spot. So I was asking her, can you actually shoot in it? And she was like, no, it's too small, right? Remember?
Yeah, I think it doesn't work. It can.
Yeah, but I was like, nah, let's just bring the camera. And I think the underwater landscape is amazing. You've got like the grass, you've got clouds. Yeah, it turned out pretty well.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew and LiLing, for sharing with us. I'm so sorry that we had to cut it a little bit short today, but thank you so much for sharing with us and showing us your beautiful photos. It was really nice to speak to everyone today. Thank you for taking the time out and chatting with us. And yeah, so if anyone is interested, we will have our Scuba 101 with Andrew's amazing photo up on our shop. You can go over to shop.asiangeo.com to have a look.